Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 4. My name is Susina Shikin, D092092. So our topic that given by Dr. Ahmad Zainal is implementing a performance management system that related with issues and challenges post-COVID environment. Before that, I will introduce about performance management. Performance management establish the framework and measure performance. The potential for future practical implementation of activities to achieve the objective and target is described as a performance. It is an approach for improving organizational and individual performance to assess the issues and challenges on post-COVID environment by analyzing and controlling performance within an agreed upon framework of planned objectives, standards, and competency criteria. So now I will pass to my groupmate to tell more detail that related with this topic.
My name Fatin Izzati binti Muhammad Zain, metric number D201920919969, and I represent about issue and challenges post-COVID environment. Issue and challenges post-COVID environment first can be seen in education institution on online learning. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, educational institutions all across the world were taken aback. Rather than interrupting learning sessions, more schools use a variety of teaching methods. On the other hand, make it difficult for persons living in rural and remote areas to obtain instructional material. As a result of online learning, students and educators confront significant challenge. Most students struggle and unhappy with online learning and unable to connect actively and directly with the lecturer if they have any problems or queries. Next issue, healthcare provider. Even social separation is the most efficient strategy to prevent the virus from spreading. It is difficult to adopt for healthcare staff who must have direct contact with COVID-19 patients, putting them at danger of becoming exposed. This is critical in order to minimize stress and tiredness among healthcare professions, both of which may be harmful to both physical and mental health. Many healthcare professionals are at risk of getting the virus. Last but not least, COVID-19 has had a significant impact on the business and individual. Businesses whose supply chains rely on components made near COVID-19 hotspot, as well as those who face dramatic changes in demand or supply, were the first to be impacted by the pandemic. Business challenges vary in significance and toughness depending on where people are in their entrepreneurial journey. COVID-19 has a huge and negative impact on company, with impact varying according to businesses factors such as industry and business owner characteristics such as risk. A lot of firms moved to online work in the early days of the pandemic. When performing tasks at home, employees must ensure that they receive a lot of break and mental stimulations. It is critical to take a break, go to work, or even talk to co-workers to maintain a healthy work-life balance.
On the heels of a 2-month-long strict lockdown, the number has risen to its highest level in 3 decades. The jobless rate was 4.6% earlier this year, right before the current lockdown, which is the country's third since the virus struck. Young employees had the greatest drop in employment, which disproportionately impacted those with lower incomes. Youth employment in middle and low-skilled occupations appears to be contracting more than in high-skilled occupations. Single mothers are one demographic that has been particularly hard hit. Only 5% of single mothers had enough money to last more than 3 months, according to the UNICEF research. Highly educated people are diminishing chances for the less educated and those approaching retirement age as they settle for unsuitable jobs. People with a secondary degree or less have lost jobs at a greater rate than normal retirement and upskilling trends would suggest. These findings, together with a sharp fall in low-skilled occupations and the highest increase in unemployment among 55 to 64-year-olds, show that such populations are attractive candidates for layoffs. Malaysia's youth have courageously expressed their dissatisfaction with the country's political dysfunction and economic exclusion, and the new administration now has the responsibility of paying close attention to the nation's youth capability, employment, earnings, and economic security.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. My name is Haris Ashraf bin Abu Hassan. My metric number is D2019209198. So today I would like to explain to you about the current trend or practice to the issue and problem happen in Malaysian context. Education issue. Malaysian government has taken the effort to guarantee the learning continues via online education in order to avoid class disruption. Throughout the pandemic epidemic, school cancellation effectively affected all schools in Malaysia. The MOE decided to use online learning platform to continue lesson delivery to replace physical school. Online learning platforms were used as a teaching aid in the past, but now learning material and activities done on this platform. Google Classroom was of the most often used online platform throughout the outbreak. Students and the teachers at the Malaysian public school can access Google Classroom with the special Google ID. As a result, Google Classroom has become the primary learning management system (LMS). Next, synchronous and asynchronous lesson. Synchronous interaction enable teachers and students to connect real-time despite their geographical gap. For instance, video conferencing enable teachers to conduct live sessions with the learners regardless of their location. Currently, the most extensive used video conferencing tool for synchronous online education and learning are Google Hangout, Google Meet, and also Zoom. As for asynchronous learning, teachers supply resources that students may access whether they choose via a platform. As a Malaysian official learning management system (LMS), Google Classroom is the most often used platform. However, teachers can also use textbook, workbook, reference book, or other classroom activities to offer offline learning activities. Next issue with health. The risk presented by the COVID-19 was made more evident in Malaysia following the importance of the first positive case from Wuhan, China, by the Addison, Singapore on January 33, 2020. As a result of this initial case, 8 close connections in Johor, Malaysia were found. In order to prevent the virus from spreading, the Ministry of Health played a crucial role. Early effort by the MOH to restrict the spread of disease included health screening requirement at all port of entry. According to the Director General of Ministry of Health, Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, heat scanner were one of the strategy deployed. Public and private hospital, university, and the Ministry of Defence had to work together to combat the rising incidence of infection. On March 18, 2020, the Ministry of Health (MOH) introduced the Movement Control Order (MCO) to assist in the limiting the transmission of disease and the death that result from it. According to the Director General of the Ministry of Health, the order was issued in compliance with the Prevention and Control of Infectious Disease Act of 1988 and the Police Act of 1967 and would help the limit to spread of the virus. Lastly, business. Pandemic coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak in 2020 shocked the world. It only took this virus less than 3 months to spread over the globe, causing the biggest human tragedy to that date. As the result of the several economic downturn brought the economic by the pandemic, death toll have risen over 4 million and continue to rise. There are various components for e-commerce growing during the COVID-19 pandemic. Among them are lockdown. E-commerce become one of the most popular and practical means of the copying the pandemic lengthy lockdown. Because lockdown forced people to stay indoors and forced many companies to close, Malaysians turned to the internet to buy the daily necessities online. Next, I will explain the current trend or practice to the issue and problem in China context. Education practice in China. Government organization, instruction, administration of teachers and management of students were all covered under education policies. Comprehensive pandemic prevention and control is the most common place to begin policy change in the second week. Following of the outbreak of the pandemic, several educational strategies have been advised by the Ministry of Education. Schools are under the watchful eye of all levels of the government, which is supposed of health courses are required when it comes to the online learning. For example, the state communication and the education administration should work together to manage the companies that provide hardware, software, and technical assistance. Next, numerous companies have provided the free access to the high-quality training material and the technical help. As a result of these strategies, the school offer wide selection of online teaching solutions for various school and teaching requirements in order to assist students and the teachers transition to a new teaching environment. quick pick up the new online teaching abilities, and ultimately enhance teaching. For the instructors, this service includes software support and teaching platform service, as well as comprehensive online training assistance. In earlier phase of this pandemic, instructors' activities were conducted via home-based internet learning. Class suspension without suspensions was ordered by the Ministry of Education in order to deal with the fast spread of the virus in its early phase. Next, health practice in China. Over the course of the epidemic, additional policies were put in place to reward and safeguard healthcare workers on a variety of fronts, including financial incentive and benefit, work-related injury compensation, mental health service, and even the bare minimum standard. Additionally, these gestures serve to show the country appreciation for the men and women who serve our country in the uniform. The Chinese government has implemented a variety of measures to close the gap between the demand and the medical care and the supply of medical service, including inclusion of online medical service and the long-term prescription in medical insurance. Remote medical service such as consultation, diagnosis, and treatment can be provided through the internet on the hospital platform. Prescription can also be provided. Telemedicine in Western civilization differs significantly from a virtual hospital. In the most cases, the majority of the internet hospitals are based on Genio Hospital, and the consumers receive practically comparable medical service, such as prescription and health insurance plans from this hospital. Lastly, business practice in China. Several Chinese organizations have successfully developed a top-down structure that stimulates innovation by integrating the advantage of both models. In the worth noting that Haozhou Hotel, which manages more than 6,000 hotels in the 400 cities across China, set up a crisis management team to review procedures and provided the town guidance to the whole chain.
Ms. Nur Hanisa binti Ahmad. My magic number is D2019209196. So today I want to talk about why the issues and the problem happen due to post-COVID-19 environment. At the end of 2019, society is shocked by a new phenomenon that has never been witnessed in the world. The contemporary human situation has been severely impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak. Then, there are the issues happen, which is about educational institution, health system, and the business due to post-COVID-19 environment. The MCO mandates that everyone who does not have a specific position in the main service must remain in their houses, limited movement and limit interaction. Campus had to be closed and classroom moved to the internet as a result of this mandate. The rapid adoption of online education. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the deployment of virtual or online teaching and learning is urgently needed. The whole world, including Malaysia, people who have been infected with COVID-19 are susceptible to serious health complications, particularly those over 65, those with weakened immune system, and those who have a history or record of chronic disease. Many nations, including Malaysia, were forced to take extraordinary steps to stop the spread of the COVID-19 disease as a result of the outbreak. The Malaysian government has adopted one of the most extreme steps by instituting MCO on March 18. Besides that, the recent breakout of the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on global industry. The lockdown order that was previously implemented had caused numerous economic sectors to be interrupted or suspended, and as a result, almost all nations are presently facing a commercial recession. Several previously profitable industries, including as hospitality, education, and other sectors, has their revenues. Let's see the suggestion from the government on how to overcome the issues and the problems that happen due to post-COVID-19 environment. A number of government steps have been launched to guarantee that not only the epidemic is removed promptly, but that the people's existence can be maintained. Education institutions all across the world were quick to respond and adapt as the health crisis progressed, producing major socio-economic disruption. Closing all schools, institutions of higher learning, and other learning spaces was a rapid response by the governments to preserve education continuity and protect the safety of learners and the education players. The Malaysian Ministry of Education offers a variety of courses to help teachers learn how to use digital learning platforms and create instructional materials. When it comes to stopping the virus spread, the Ministry of Health was a key player. one of the first actions taken by the Ministry of Health is to limit disease transmission, was the 26th installation of health screening at all access points, according to Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, the Director General of the Ministry of Health. One strategy was to put the thermal scanners. This one done to make it easier for those who are returning from holidays abroad to get tested for fever. After returning from Wuhan, Malaysians were tested for COVID-19 and confined at specific areas. Then, for the business, the Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib Razak, announced an additional budget of RM1 billion for medical needs, such as the purchase of equipment and service to combat COVID-19, when he announced the RM250 billion Prihatin package to support micro, small and medium-sized enterprises that are struggling to retain their employees.
On the conclusion, the core goal of performance management is to control expectations. It creates a shared understanding of what is required to improve performance in the Malaysian issues that occur during this time and how they will accomplish this by clarifying and agreeing on what people are expected to do and how they are supposed to behave. Implementing these practices that mentioned from our group mate before will well be adapted to solve the multiple performance management difficulties posed by the COVID-19 crisis because it provides vital strategy, communication, developmental and many more. They may use performance management systems to convey the strategic orientations of the issues arise to their effectively and to assist them in understanding why and how job duties need to be altered. That's all from us, Group 4. Thank you.